It's 3 a.m., and you are staring at the texture of your ceiling, perfectly aware of the silence in the room, and yet, inside your head, it feels like a browser with 47 tabs open, all of them playing different songs at once. You are physically exhausted. Your eyes burn, your limbs feel like lead, and you've done everything right. You dimmed the lights, you put the phone away, and you followed the ritual. But as soon as your head hit the pillow, your brain decided it was the perfect time to review a conversation from 3 years ago, worry about a deadline 3 weeks away, and wonder if you're actually doing anything meaningful with your life. You eventually drift off into a shallow, gray kind of sleep, only to wake up feeling like you've been hit by a truck. You aren't lazy, and you don't need a more expensive mattress. What you're experiencing isn't a sleep problem, it's a completion problem.
You are not broken. If you relate to this tired but wired state, it's important to understand that your brain isn't sabotaging you. It is trying to protect you. It's stuck in a loop that it doesn't know how to exit. For many of us, especially those navigating the specific pressures of millennial life, exhaustion has become our baseline. We've been conditioned to believe that if we just optimize our schedules or buy the right supplements, we'll finally feel rested. But you can't optimize your way out of a physiological state that thinks it's still under attack. Your brain is doing exactly what it was evolved to do: keep you alert in the face of a threat. The only problem is that in the modern world, the threat never actually leaves the room. To understand why your mornings feel so heavy, we have to look at the anatomy of a stress cycle. In nature, stress has a beginning, a middle, and an end. Imagine a gazelle being chased by a lion. The gazelle sees the threat, its heart rate spikes, its muscles flood with cortisol, and it runs. That is the beginning and middle of the cycle. If the gazelle escapes, it doesn't just go back to eating grass immediately. It shakes, it breathes heavily, it signals to its nervous system through physical movement that the danger has passed. That is the end of the cycle. But for you, the lions are digital. They are the unread slacks, the rising cost of rent, and the subtle, persistent hum of hustle culture telling you that you aren't doing enough. You encounter the stressor, and your body initiates the response. Your heart rate climbs, your jaw tightens, and your nervous system enters fight or flight mode. But unlike the gazelle, you never get to run. You just sit at your desk. You finish the task, but you never tell your body that the threat is gone. You deal with the stressor, but you don't deal with the stress. Because you never finish the cycle, your nervous system stays stuck in high alert. You go to sleep with a body that still thinks it's being hunted, and you wake up exhausted because your brain spent the whole night on guard duty. This is where it gets interesting. We often think that relaxing is the same thing as completing the cycle, but they are psychologically distinct. You can sit on the couch for 4 hours watching a show and still feel the hum of anxiety underneath your skin. That's because your brain interprets your stillness not as safety, but as paralysis. One of the reasons we feel so drained is that we've lost the transition rituals that used to tell our minds it was time to put the armor away. In a world of remote work and infinite scrolling, the boundaries have dissolved. Your bedroom is also your office. Your phone is both a tool for connection and a portal to every problem in the world. Without a cognitive transition, a literal ritual that signals the end of the hunting phase, your brain stays in the office long after you've closed your laptop. As we move through our lives, the way this exhaustion manifests starts to shift. In your early 20s, it might have felt like a manic kind of energy, a drive to prove yourself that kept you going until 2 a.m. But as you move into your 30s and beyond, the brain begins to interpret this constant high alert state differently. It evolves from a drive into a dread. The same nervous system that used to fuel your ambition now fuels your avoidance. You might find yourself revenge bedtime procrastinating,
staying up late doing nothing just to reclaim a sense of agency over a day that felt like it belonged to everyone else but you. It is a desperate, late-night attempt to find a moment of peace, but it's a peace built on top of a debt you'll have to pay in the morning. The brain dump is often dismissed as a productivity hack, but psychologically, it serves a much deeper purpose. It is an externalization of threat. When your worries stay inside your mind, your brain has to use active energy to keep track of them. It's like trying to hold 10 beach balls underwater at once. By putting them on paper, you aren't just making a to-do list. You are telling your brain, I have recorded the danger. You are officially relieved of your duty to remember it for the next 8 hours. It allows the amygdala to finally step down from its watchtower. Similarly, many of us carry physical tension that we don't even recognize until we try to sleep. We carry our work in our traps, our finances in our lower backs, and our relationships in our clenched jaws. This isn't just physical discomfort, it is a stored biological command to stay ready. When you engage in a physical tension release, even something as simple as tensing every muscle in your body and then letting go, you are speaking a language your nervous system understands. You are giving the body a physical conclusion to the invisible marathon you've been running all day. Then there is the concept of sensory grounding. In the tired but wired state, the mind is almost always in the future or the past. It is calculating risks or replaying failures. Sensory grounding, focusing on the coldness of the sheets, the sound of a fan, the weight of a blanket, acts as an anchor. It pulls the consciousness out of the abstract, threatening elsewhere, and places it back into the safe, immediate here. It's a way of proving to your subconscious that in this very second, you are not being eaten by a lion. You are just a person in a room, and for right now, that is enough. But here's the part nobody tells you. The biggest weight you are carrying into your sleep isn't your workload. It's the way you talk to yourself about your workload. We have internalized a version of self-worth that is entirely tied to our output. We feel guilty for being tired. We feel anxious about our lack of progress, even while we are trying to rest. This self-judgment is in itself a stressor. Every time you criticize yourself for being unproductive, you re-trigger the stress cycle you were trying to close. You are effectively screaming at the gazelle to run faster while it's trying to catch its breath.
This behavior, this constant state of being on, actually serves a function. For a long time, it probably made you very successful. It made you the person who never missed a detail, the one who was always prepared, the one who survived the chaos. Your exhaustion is a side effect of a survival strategy that worked. It was your anchor in a storm. It gave you a sense of control when the world felt unpredictable. You aren't doing it wrong. You are simply using an old map for a new territory. There is a profound sense of safety in the familiar, even if the familiar is a state of burnout. For many of us, being calm feels dangerous because we've spent so long equating worry with preparedness. We worry because we think it keeps us safe. We stay exhausted because we think it means we're working hard. But the truth is, your brain is just looking for a way home. It's looking for a way to feel that the day is truly over, that the cycle is finished, and that you are allowed to exist without being useful.
Ultimately, your worth is not a variable. It doesn't go up when you finish your inbox, and it doesn't go down when you spend a Saturday staring at a wall. You are a biological being with a nervous system that has been pushed to its absolute limit by a world that wasn't designed for it. The heaviness you feel in the morning isn't a sign of failure. It's a sign that you've been incredibly strong for a very long time, and your body is finally asking for the grace to stop running. You don't need to fix yourself. You don't need to be better at sleeping. You just need to recognize that the lion isn't in the room anymore. You are allowed to let the breath out. You are allowed to let the tension go. You are allowed to be tired. And when you finally stop fighting the exhaustion, you might find that the exhaustion stops fighting you. It's okay to just be. It's okay to close the tabs. The world will still be there in the morning. And for tonight, your only job is to be the person who survived the day. That in itself is plenty. I hope you can find a way to be gentle with your mind tonight.